today's session of Visual Jforex, we will be completing the setup using the indicator named Bear Power. This is the third part, and in today's session, I will be focusing on the sell side, defining of the condition. So this is the Visual Jforex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA, so that the traders can build their own algorithm in a easier, simplistic way. So the progress so far, I would like to give you a refresher. The default instrument has been defined as USD JPY. The instrument subscription has been done. Position amount was defined at 0 to make sure there is no existing open or pending order on the account. And then I got these bear power indicator blocks defined for the time period of hourly. The cluster of 4 candles, these are also of hourly time frame. Then to look at the immediate price action, there is a hourly candle, and then to pinpoint the exact entry point, these 10 seconds candles closing values will be compared to the candle 19's closing value. To retrieve the individual variables from this array of data, we will be relying on this output value of the loop viewer. The conditions which we need to see that the conditions are in place are going to be defined using this calculation expression block, and one requirement for the trade is that the price should have moved good enough to the good enough extent from its immediate high or low, depending on which side you are trading on. So for the buy side trade, we need the price to have moved at least 10 pips above the lowest point. So those conditions have been defined using the calculation expression block. And then these were the conditions which were defined for the execution of the buy trade. So we need the fulfillment of 6 conditions for the execution of the buy trade, and then I had defined these pending open order with the price point being about 10 pips from the lowest point of last 4 hours, and order validity was defined at 2 hours. So the order will remain valid for 2 hours from the point of fulfillment of all the prerequisite conditions. Now in today's setup, we are going to start building for the execution of the sell trades, and we are working with the USD JPY. So this is the USD JPY chart of the hourly time frame, and we will be looking for the execution of the sell trade whenever we see that output value for the bear power has dipped below 0. That means bears are gaining strength, and this is the time to look for the initiation of the new trades in the direction of the trend. And to make sure that we are getting involved only during the first few initial hours, I have limited the time window, and that is going to be the first 4 hours after the change in momentum. So earlier, 5 hours back, we need the bear power output value to have been above 0, and then after that it dipped below 0. That means bears gained strength, and during these first 4 hours we want the execution to happen. And the additional condition is going to be that we will need last hour candle close to be below its opening price. That will make sure that there has been enough of sell side momentum immediately before the execution of the trade. And one more condition is going to be that the price point, the entry point, should be below the 10 pips from its highest point of last 4 hours. So we are going to define that on the Visual Jforex board using the calculation expression block. And the same price point will also be our entry point for the sell limit order. So I will take calculation expression here, and we will need to disconnect it for the time being. And for the sell trade, we will have to retrieve the highest point of HLSC. Okay, so here it is, and we will deduct 10 pips we had defined in the prior session. And it's fairly simple, A1 minus A2. And we will name it as difference. Okay, and with that we have defined the entry point and also the necessary condition that price should have moved below from the immediate high. Now again I will join it back. Okay, now is the time to bring in the if blocks. I will take a couple of if blocks. We will need 6 in all, as we want the sell side to be symmetric with the buy side. It should only be inverted version of the buy side condition. And we need last hour's bear power output to be below 0. It should be in negative territory. First input less than second input, and bear power was above 0 5 hours back. So in this case, first input greater than second input. Then we need the last tick price to be below the point of the execution of the trade, that is 10 pips below the highest point. And for that I will have to take ask should be below this point, as we are going to place the limit order. So we want to make sure that price has dropped below that level. First input less than second input. Last hour's candle close should be below its opening price. That means there is immediate price pressure on the sell side. The price is dropping. So candle 19's close should be below its candle open. Should be below opening price. Okay. First input less than second input. And then comes the pinpointing of entry point, and we want the price to start dipping below last hour's closing value. So again here we will need to compare the candle 19's closing value with candle 20 and candle 21's closing values. So we take candle 19 candle close as the second input, and candle 20 and candle 21 closing values will be put here as first input respectively. First input less than second input, and this one first input greater than second input. And I will bring in now the pending open order block, and this is going to be a sell limit order. Candle 21 candle close greater, and the price point for the execution of this order is going to be the point which is going to be 10 pips below the highest point. So this is going to be the price where the order will be placed for the sale. Trade amount I will change it to 0.1 million. Slippage should be good enough. Stop loss will be of 10 pips, and take profit 20 pips. Order validity, we had defined it last session, and it is 2 hours. So we will keep the same for the sell side as well. Now let us arrange this block and join it to the multiple action, and then we will also check on whether the trade flow is happening or not. Here is this sell side setup, and I will join it here, and we will check with color coding the on tick start point, and as you can see we have the iteration flow till the last point of the execution, the pending open. That means we have successfully completed this setup. And with that, the session is also coming to an close. I hope you have been able to understand the basic idea behind the building of this algorithm, and you will be able to carry out the same on your own. You can try out some tweaks also, as you can experiment with the setup and see how you can design and develop the algorithm using this indicator of bear power. So thank you all for joining in. See you next time with a new indicator. Till then, goodbye.